Greg Oden was supposed to dominate, a 7-foot phenom drafted before Kevin Durant. Instead, he played just 21% of the games he could have. Shocking, right? In his best stretch, Oden averaged 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks per 36 minutes. Elite numbers. So, how did that turn into just 105 career games? Was it bad luck or something deeper? Could you come back after 3 microfracture surgeries, after battling addiction, or after being called the biggest disappointment in NBA history?
I'll be remembered as the biggest bust in NBA history.
Stick around to find out. And while you're here, hit subscribe. We break down sports stories others won't touch. So, how bad was Greg Oden really? Or was he something more? Greg Oden wasn't just good in high school, he was legendary. He earned 2 straight Gatorade National Player of the Year honors, won the 2006 Naismith Prep Player of the Year, and was named Indiana's Mr. Basketball. Pretty impressive, right? He joined forces with Mike Conley at Ohio State in 2006, forming a powerful duo. Even after wrist surgery in June 2006, Oden returned to help lead the Buckeyes to the national championship game. There, despite the loss to Florida, he posted 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 blocks. That performance sealed his legacy. Oden averaged 15.7 points, 9.6 rebounds, and 3.3 blocks in college. And get this, he never lost a home game in high school or college. Can you believe that level of dominance? He was the kind of center franchises dream about. Even Steve Kerr once called him a once-in-a-decade player. How many players do you think get that label? If you were an NBA GM back then, would you have passed on Kevin Durant for Oden? Oden wasn't just a big man, he was a 7-footer with agility and touch. But things changed fast.
With the first pick in the 2007 NBA Draft, the Portland Trail Blazers select Greg Oden from Ohio State University.
The 2007 NBA Draft sparked a huge debate. Greg Oden or Kevin Durant? Most agreed that a dominant center wins rings, and Oden had everything teams wanted, so the Portland Trail Blazers selected him number 1 overall. With Durant going second, it was a bold but logical move at the time. Would you have made the same call? Portland was building around Oden, Brandon Roy, and LaMarcus Aldridge, a trio destined for greatness. Experts gave the Blazers straight A's for their draft. Jonathan Givney of Draft Express said Oden would take this team's potential to a whole new level. But before he could even play an NBA game, Oden had microfracture surgery on his right knee in September 2007. It was a crushing blow. He missed the entire 2007-8 season, the first top pick to do so since David Robinson, though for vastly different reasons. Fans were patient, the franchise hopeful. But how long could that optimism last? Was Portland cursed or just unlucky? It was only the beginning of an avalanche of injuries. And unfortunately, that first surgery would set the tone for everything that followed. When Oden finally stepped on the court in October 2008, expectations were sky high. But after just 13 minutes, he left the game with a foot injury, scoreless and limping. That debut was heartbreaking. Can you imagine waiting over a year just to play for 13 minutes? Once healthy, Oden began showing flashes. In just his 5th game, he dropped 22 points and 10 rebounds. By January 2009, he was averaging 16.4 points, 11.4 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks over a 5-game stretch. But just as he found rhythm, disaster struck again. In February 2009, he banged knees with Corey Maggott and suffered a chipped left kneecap, sidelining him for 3 weeks. He came back, but never fully recovered, ending his rookie year without making any all-rookie teams. In a league where rookies get celebrated, Oden was already being questioned. Was he fragile or just unlucky? Despite flashes of dominance, he missed too many games. Meanwhile, Brook Lopez and Marc Gasol, both drafted after him, were thriving. Was Oden's body betraying him too soon, or was there still hope? That hope would soon face its greatest test yet. Please, don't just watch, be part of it. Like, comment, and subscribe for more energy. The 2009-10 season looked like it might finally be Oden's breakout year. In his first game, he posted 12 rebounds and 5 blocks. Soon, he was putting up double-doubles regularly. In November, he had 24 points and 12 rebounds against the Bulls, then 13 points, 20 rebounds, and 4 blocks versus the Heat. At one point, he was the only player in the league averaging 16-plus points, 12-plus rebounds, and 3-plus blocks per 36 minutes. That's elite company. Was he finally becoming the dominant center everyone expected? But then, on December 5th, 2009, he collided with Aaron Brooks and fractured his left patella. Just 21 games into what could have been a special season, Oden was done again. That knee injury required surgery and ended his year. Oden later admitted he felt like a failure and had let down Portland, his family, and everyone who believed in him. The physical pain was bad, but the emotional toll, arguably worse. Oden's comeback efforts were met with more pain. In November 2010, he had microfracture surgery on his left knee.
Oh, his knee is... Holy cow, Portland doesn't need this.
His second major operation, that ruled him out for the 2010-11 season. In February 2012, he underwent arthroscopic surgery on both knees within 3 weeks. During the second, doctors discovered further damage, leading to a third microfracture surgery. How many players do you know who have had 3 microfracture surgeries? Would you even try to come back at that point? The Blazers finally gave up. On March 15, 2012, they released Oden to make room for trade acquisitions. That was the end of an era filled with hope and heartbreak. Oden didn't give up though. He chose to sit out the 2012-13 season and rehab. Miraculously, despite everything, teams were still interested. Would you sign a player with that injury history? Through it all, Oden was battling more than just injuries. He later admitted to struggling with alcoholism and painkiller addiction, falling into a dark cycle of isolation and depression. He even said he couldn't sleep without pills.
I want to say it was February. By the time I got back, I probably drank every day. So basically numbed myself.
Basketball was hurting him more than helping. In a surprising move, the Miami Heat signed Greg Oden in August 2013. He joined a championship team led by LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh. He played 23 games during the season and even suited up in the NBA Finals against the San Antonio Spurs. Sure, his stats were modest, but just seeing Oden back on an NBA floor was special. Did it feel like a redemption arc, even if brief? He averaged 8.0 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 1.2 blocks over his NBA career, shooting an efficient 57.4% from the field. But that career only spanned 105 games across 7 seasons. That's just 21% of the 492 possible games since his draft in 2007. After Miami, Oden tried once more, signing with the Jiangsu Dragons in China in 2015. There, he posted 13 points, 12.6 rebounds, and 2.0 blocks over 25 games. Still, in October 2016, he retired at just 28 years old. Now 37 years old, Greg Oden isn't running from his past. He's embraced it. He once called himself the biggest disappointment in NBA history.
I'll be remembered as the biggest bust in NBA history.
But that's not how his story ends. Oden overcame alcoholism and mental health struggles. He's now active in basketball again, not as a player, but in coaching and mentoring. In 2018, he played in the basketball tournament with Ohio State alumni. And in 2019, he was drafted into the Big 3 League, proving he still had something to offer. He also returned to Ohio State as a student and mentor, showing younger athletes how to avoid his mistakes. Greg Oden's career didn't turn out as anyone had hoped, but his resilience, humility, and growth paint a fuller picture. Maybe success isn't just about stats or rings. Maybe it's about how you stand up after falling again and again. Greg Oden's story isn't just about missed games. It's about resilience, redemption, and rising after relentless setbacks. He didn't become an all-time great on the court, but he became something deeper, a symbol of perseverance. Sometimes greatness is found in the fight, not the stats. If this story moved you, subscribe for more untold sports journeys and drop a comment below.